Monarch Legacy of Monsters might honestly be the best Monsterverse project that we've gotten so far, and it does it by making the monsters secondary. I really enjoyed Monarch Legacy of Monsters. In fact, this might end up being a lot of people's favorite entry in the Monsterverse. And it does it by prioritizing characters and drama first and using the monsters as big, impactful moments. The show finds a balance that a lot of recent Monsterverse projects have been missing. This is going to be my spoiler-free review of Season 1 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Let me know what you thought about the series down in the comments below and what you expect to see in Season 2. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. It's completely free and it helps the channel out. Alright, let's get started. Monarch Legacy of Monsters is an Apple TV series set within the Monsterverse, jumping back and forth between the past and the present. The story follows the origins and impact of Monarch while tying directly into events like Godzilla's attack on San Francisco in the 2014 Godzilla movie. Now, one of the smartest choices that the show makes is having Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell play the same character, Lee Shaw, just in different timelines. And that decision alone elevates the entire series. The structure of the show is one of its biggest strengths. Jumping between the past and the present keeps things fresh, and it allows the story to explore long-term consequences in a way that really works. And more importantly, Monarch understands that characters come first. The kaiju aren't treated as constant background noise. They're used sparingly, which makes every appearance from them feel like a big deal. When the monsters show up, it matters. And that restraint makes the action feel earned rather than overwhelming. Lee Shaw is easily one of the strongest characters in the show, both in the past and the present. Kurt Russell is a standout. He brings all the traits that you love about this guy: his charisma, his humor, his natural likability, and his version of Shaw is endlessly watchable, and the character is just as engaging as the performance. And then you have Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son. I think he has a lot less to do in comparison in the show, but he still holds your attention, especially with the whole love triangle he has going on in his timeline. The character just feels grounded, and the dual performance across the timelines is genuinely compelling. You don't really see this done in a lot of shows or movies or anything like that. Now, among the younger cast, May feels like the most fleshed out character in my opinion. She has layers, she has depth, and a story that consistently feels more interesting than most of the other characters in the show. I just really enjoyed how much attention was given to her development. Now, that said, not every character works in this show. Kate was honestly insufferable for most of the season. I just could not get down with this character. I did start to warm up to her as things went on as the show kept going, but getting there was rough. And then Hiroshi is also hard to like. A lot of his decisions are what set these events in motion, and even afterwards, he's still not that likable because of how he acts after the fact. These characters don't ruin the show by any means, but they definitely tested my patience at times. Now, this is the thing that we all want to talk about, right? How are the monsters? How do the kaiju look? What's going on with that? What's the deal? So, the monsters look incredible. Every single one of them, including Godzilla, looks fantastic. And I've become a big complainer when it comes to bad CGI and effects-heavy movies and shows, but I never once had an issue with this show. The San Francisco Godzilla scene in particular are some of the best looking Godzilla moments I can remember. The rain, the collapsing bridge, the scale, it's pure cinema. Even the CGI backgrounds are really impressive, which is a rare thing nowadays because I've been seeing a few recent shows that have been a bad example of background CGI. And even looking past CGI, just visually, the show is beautiful. I honestly didn't know what to expect going in, but Monarch might be one of the best looking shows to date. The variety of locations adds so much to the experience. You have jungles, you have deserts, you have the Arctic. Every environment just feels distinct and cinematic, and that variety there not only keeps things visually interesting, but also gives the show a real sense of scale and adventure, which is exactly what you want to see in a show like this. And the score is perfection. The theme song alone is a banger, and the way it's used throughout the season helps elevate some very important scenes. The music just consistently enhances the emotion and the epic moments, pushing the show to another level. Now, one issue I did have with the show is the pacing. Because the show is split into two different timelines like we talked about before, I often found myself far more invested in one over the other. Now, sometimes the past storyline was a lot more compelling, and other times the present felt a lot stronger, which made the less interesting timeline feel dull by comparison. And I completely understand this is a very hard balance to strike, but while the show mostly pulls it off, this uneven investment did hurt the pacing at times for me. The show explores themes of guilt, family, and the idea of finding a new family in unlikely people. Those themes are exactly what ground the story and give the monster action emotional weight. It's not just about destruction, it's about how people live with the consequences. So for me, Monarch feels closest in tone to 2014's Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, and I loved that. Now, the more recent Monsterverse movie like Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire have leaned a little bit too far into one direction, and that direction I'm talking about is the Fast and Furious, over-the-top vibe. So if you prefer the balance of strong human characters paired with impactful monster moments, this show is absolutely for you. Monarch Legacy of Monsters is a fantastic addition to the Monsterverse. It prioritizes characters, it looks incredible, it respects the monsters, and delivers some truly cinematic moments. This could easily be many people's favorite Monsterverse project, and honestly, I would not argue against that. So where does Monarch rank for you in the Monsterverse? Did you prefer the past timeline or the present one? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.